Hello. In this presentation, I will introduce the IH promises, explain their purpose, and outline how we would like schools to use them. Directors who attended the conference in Toronto will have already heard all about them, but you might like to share this presentation with your senior management. In summary, the client promise and the IH staff promise are a simple and easy way to tell your clients and staff what IH will do for them. Most importantly, they are learner-focused, allowing us to better communicate what IH quality means to our clients. This change of focus has significant implications for the IH quality management scheme and the IH inspections. More on that later. The IH client and staff promises come from the very strong foundations that IH has as a quality language service provider. We have decades of experience and a quality management system that has developed and adapted over time. We have very detailed quality standards, an affiliation agreement, and core values that are all focused on facilitating our students' learning. We also have a very clear proposition for the IH brand. Just to remind you of our brand proposition, it is learning a language or training to be a teacher with International House will enable you to open new horizons and realise your aspirations in a positive and enjoyable environment. Within our current system, a lot of the processes and policies we have are to ensure that we can deliver on our proposition, but it might not be immediately obvious to our students how our very detailed quality standards lead to this outcome. The quality standards are very detailed. They need to be, as we have lots of processes and systems to maintain and also to inspect schools against. We need to make all the requirements of being an IH school very clear, and so this detail is essential. But it's not very accessible. The charters don't speak to the student, and the link between all of these detailed charter points and the student's experience in an IH school perhaps isn't as explicit as we'd like it to be. So, the IH promises incorporate all of this work and distill all of this detail into something that speaks to the client or the member of staff, in the case of the IH staff promise, directly, simply, clearly and succinctly. Most importantly, the IH promises focus on how our activities and how IH quality is learner-focused. It is all about the client, and that's the message we have to get across. So let's take a look at the promises. The client promise speaks to the client directly and explains very briefly how what we do as an IH school benefits them and helps them achieve their goals. Let's look at the text now. If we look at this first clause, we will help you learn and progress by designing well-structured courses and educational support services. The key words there are we will help you. You can also see we will listen to your needs. You will receive this. Your learning will be regularly assessed. You will be encouraged. We're putting them right at the heart of what we do. In the staff promise, as well as explaining what IH will do for the employee, the connection is clearly made between training the staff member and this training enabling them to contribute to the student learning experience. We train our teachers to teach as effectively as possible so that learning takes place. You'll see I've highlighted there, you'll be given feedback on how you perform in your job, and you may be given further training so you can contribute to improving the student learning experience. IH staff members, both teachers and administrators, all have a role to play in supporting students progress and helping them realise their aspirations, as a little extract from our proposition mentions. And this is really quite inspiring, and we want to make sure that we're communicating that well to them. Obviously, at the same time, we have an obligation to our employees to look after them and to develop them. And so that's why we still have text like you will be employed legally and have a written contract, for example. So, In conclusion, the promises give you something tangible to set you apart from your competition, a unique selling point. They make your investment in quality work for you. They will demonstrate that IH is learner, client-focused above everything else. They will help you easily communicate to your clients and staff what IH quality means for them. And they will signify a change from the very process and system-focused way we have described IH quality currently. So what happens next? How do we make sure we deliver on our IH promises? Well, the good news is you already are for the most part because you are meeting the quality standards, and so you'll need to continue to do that. But we also need to embed this approach of being client-focused. So we need to shift our focus and ensure that we're communicating it well. The quality standards will continue to be at the core and underpin everything we do. But we want to ensure that the quality and the inspection scheme reflect this different view, this different perspective. And so they have been redesigned and enhanced based on the IH promises. And you'll hear from Becky about this soon. In the meantime, for now, you just need to display the IH client promise and the IH staff promise instead of the charters. They're now your public-facing communication documents. You can download them from the quality management section of the affiliates area on the website. And you'll find that as well as being there in English, we also have a range of other languages, so that, for example, you can have them in Spanish if you're in a Spanish-speaking country. This is important because we want clients to read and understand them. Then we'll be in touch with you with further support documentation to help you incorporate the promises and the delivery of the promises into your school's day-to-day life. You'll be hearing from Becky about the newly designed and enhanced inspection scheme once it's been trialled over the summer. And there are also some exciting value-adding features that she'll be letting you know about. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this has helped you have a good insight into what we're trying to achieve with the promises. If you have any questions, get in touch. Otherwise, we'll be in touch in the coming months with more information. Thank you.